I am live. Already I'm live?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You did it all for me. I didn't have to do anything.
Okay. All right, I guess I got to go to those two pages as well. I'll go to YouBoob. Notifications.
I'll notificate you. That was terrible.
That was terrible. Holy cow. It is Friday.
Stressed out. I think my humor will probably be pretty dry today.
What are you stressed out about today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'll talk after the show. We can talk after the show about that.
I have a lot of money problems.
You and me both right now.
I have a lot of money problems. For somebody who's single with nothing going on, I have a lot of money problems. It's going to ruin me, but it won't stop me from doing what I'm doing, so whatever.
Hey, there's John Kruger and Kathleen. I'm just trying to get it. There we go. Now I can see it nice and big.
Where? Who? Huh?
Me.
Where?
I can see me big.
You?
I'm big.
When will
Joshua?
you 3D till today?
Joshua, I'm going to be here right until 5 o'clock. I'm going to be here right till 5. Hello, Kathleen.
Mark always says hi.
Graham Forlage. Graham Forlage. I hope I pronounced that right. Daniel Wright, good afternoon. RT, hello, sir. Fred Kaz, hello, thanks for staying up.
Yeah, what time is it for him? Like 1 in the morning or something?
Yeah, well, I think it's about 10 o'clock. There's 10 hours difference between us and them, I think. So you guys want to see something cool? I'm going to be talking about this stuff today.
Woo!
Dun, 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 dun. So you guys will be able to see this stuff today. And my mic is on today. He says it's 8:30 in the evening for him over.
That's not too bad.
For
After
Fred.
dinner, after the news.
Yeah.
That's actually better than 1:30 in the afternoon for something.
Yes. Yes. So this is the stuff we're going to be talking about today. Reprinted the moon. We did this lovely mask, and of course we got Pennywise done. So we're going to be talking about all these things today, and talking about a couple other things we're going to talk about. While I have everybody's attention now, the CR10 printed the mask. Smooth. Oh, you wrote that.
You said that. Yeah, if it's
Okay. Yeah, if it says the first layer, that's Frank answering Frank. RT, paint the mask. Absolutely, I am. I'll be talking about that a little bit as well. Joshua says he's getting audio blips. Let me see if I've got a fresh battery. Oh, yeah, my battery's low. Give me a minute. Hey, Derek. Is that 9 volt still here? The 9 volt? Yeah. How do you get that thing? Because mine's almost dead. People are getting. That's better. Thank you, sir. Okay, so we're back. Okay, now it's better. Yes, sound. Mace says not sure if it's a volume deposit. What I had to do was replace the battery. Yeah, that's what I had to do. Okay, so let's go back to this camera. There we go. I am still here. We have 4 minutes, 41 seconds to go. And let's see, who did I miss? I got RT, I got Joshua, Kathleen. Sergio, how are you, sir? I think I got everybody. I think I said hi to everybody. Daniel. Oh, Mark Baker's here too. Mark Baker's here. So there we are. So we're going to talk about the stuff that are on my desk today. We're going to talk a little bit about some changes that I made, and we're going to go from there. I'm looking out my window. I can see there's customers in the showroom. Hey, did you guys enjoy that little video I put up of the mask and of Pennywise printing? Did you guys enjoy that? Just give me a thumbs up if you did. Put a thumbs up in the comments, or if you'd like to, please share the stream today. That would be great. We got some thumbs up, so people loved seeing that little video. I'm going to try and do more of those videos as we go through and we develop the show more. You guys might have noticed that I did sign up for Patreon. So now Patreon is not a prerequisite. I'm not asking you to spend your hard-earned money to help us produce the show every week, but if you feel that you're getting something out of it and you feel like you would like to contribute your coffee money for the week or whatever, you can go to patreon.com/the first layer, and it's all one word, the first layer. So I really appreciate that. We've got a couple of people that signed up on Patreon, and so I'd like to thank those guys that have already started on Patreon. And I'm going to get into another one that I heard about through Philip DeFranco, and it's a little different. What this is it's a way to help offsetting the costs of producing the show. As everybody knows, while we're still in pre-show, I can talk about this. As everybody knows, this show completely comes out of my pocket. The only thing I don't pay for is the room around me and the filament that I've been using from Spool 3D. Everything else, printers, gear, subscriptions, I pay for all that out of my pocket. So just letting you guys know that.
What about one-time donations, not monthly ones?
One-time donations, I'm not sure. I haven't done anything with one-time donations yet. I don't think Patreon allows one-times. I think it's like a subscription, or you can cancel it if you just want to do one. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to do that. I can put a PayPal if somebody wants to do a donation. I'm not sure about that yet. If you guys want me to do a PayPal for donations, just let me know. I have a PayPal account, so we can do something there if you guys want. Other than that, that's all I want to say about it. I am going to talk a little bit about it near the end of the show. We're less than a minute away today, so we're going to get into it and talk about some of the filaments that I used this week. 35 seconds. Very cool. I think he's gonna, Fred says he'd do PayPal. I'll get into all of it during the show. But yeah, we've got a great show to talk about stuff today, and we're going to get into more tutorials as well as we go. Okay, 3, 2. Hey, welcome to the First Layer. This is First Layer Friday and Coffee with Rich. I'm Richard Cleveland, your host. And I come to you 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you were with us this Wednesday, it was kind of a cluster muck because I did everything live. I had kind of a really busy week. I wasn't able to record Wednesday's show, so I did it live. And it was all right. You know, wasn't anything special. But we did talk about some stuff. And yes, TGIF, Morgan Pierce says. It is TGIF. Thank God it's the end of the week. I want to get out and do some photography this weekend. So, if you've been here since the pre-show, you will know that we have some things on the table that we're going to talk about. But before we do that, I have to say, if this is underneath the video that you are watching right now, whether you're watching this live or in the Restream, please click it. Subscribe now. We are 24 subscribers away from hitting our next goal, which is 250 subscribers. And that's when I'm going to give away a $50 gift certificate to Spool 3D. I'm going to also give away the Ray bobblehead and a beautiful print from Star Trek. And that's going to go out to one lucky winner. And all the names are going to go into that hat so everybody can take part in it. So click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I put up a new episode or we go live, okay? So that's that business out of the way. RT says he already did. So let's move to the cameras down here, I think. There we go. And on the table in front of me, I have 4 items, really, not 3, 4. The 4th item is Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick!
Pickle Rick! And Pickle Rick, if you guys watched on Wednesday's show, I talked about the filament that we used, and this came from CCTREE, courtesy of our friends over at MacLeod Solutions Limited. And I'm going to go to their website here, let you guys have a look at that. So can you switch to the website, please? Courtesy of our friends over at MacLeod Solutions Limited. And I'm going to go to their website here. Let you guys have a look at that. So can you switch to the website, I'm not sure what that means. CAD, IT, courtesy of our friends. They have an e-store where they sell a bunch of products and accessories. I'm going to go to their website here. So please go give them some love at MacSolutions.com. Thank you for their participation in this week's shows. And courtesy of our friends, they have an e-store where they sell a bunch of products and accessories. Go back to my camera now. So that being said, their filament printed not only the Pickle Rick, this was their fluorescent green filament, but it also printed the Dr. Doom mask. Now this was printed on the CR10, as most of you know that saw the video. This was found on Thingiverse. Forgive me, I did not write down or make a lower third for the designer of this mask, but it's been around for a while. It's one of the more popular ones. You can see that it's quite thick. This was printed in the MacLeod Solutions PLA white. Very solid, like it is solid. Does it fit? Let's find out. I kind of feel like Casey Jones.
You kind of look like Casey Jones.
I kind of feel like Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtles.
You look
I don't
awesome
know.
in that. You look like 20 years younger.
I look 20 years younger. Okay, so he says I look 20 years younger. It's a little tight on my fat cheeks. So I think they're kind of popping out near the what looks like springs, jaw springs on the side, but you know. So let me put these back on so I can see you folks. I can never see anybody. So let's go back here. There we go. How long did this take to print? This actually took 3 days to print. So it was on the printer for a while. It's got 10%, 15% infill in it. It was printed at 0.2 millimeter layer height, or 200 microns. And it came out really, really nice. I am going to finish it. Somebody asked me in the pre-show, am I going to finish this mask? And yes, I am going to finish this mask. It is going to get a paint job. I'm going to show you guys exactly the chroming technique that I use to do chrome parts. And you guys will get to see all of that, and then we'll put some straps on it, and maybe we'll wear this at this year's Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. Who knows? So we'll put him down and put him to the side. Now, Pennywise. Pennywise in the moon. Let's move to that. There we go. Let's move to that camera one more time. Pennywise comes to us from Inov 3D, INOV 3D. They sent me this model to print. This is printed at 150%. It is very smooth. I did print this at a 0.1 millimeter layer height this time, so the details came out a lot sharper. I also did a 15% infill on this one as well. I did not print the base or the presence yet, but I will do that. Pennywise is going to be the piece that we start in our painting tutorials next week. On Monday, we're going to do some sanding. Very little has to be done on this. We are also going to be priming him on Monday during the live show. Or I may record that prior to the live show and then just run that little clip during the live show. And then we're going to get into starting to paint him, deciding what colors we want, how we're going to mix the colors. So we're going to talk a little bit about color science on Monday as well. And then on Wednesday, we're going to continue painting. And by Friday, we should be done doing all of the final sealing, and he should be ready to go. So if you guys are interested in the Pennywise, go to inov3d.com.
One N or two?
INOV3D. Let me see if I can pull them up. Oh, you're going to pull them up over there. So, okay. So, Frank's going to put a link down in the chat on both Facebook and YouTube. So,
Yeah, there it is.
there we go. So they also sell services for designing and that sort of thing. The moon came out great. I do have to, however, I have to put a hole in the bottom, and we'll make a base for that. And we're also going to show you a little bit about this next week as we light it up. So that's going to be another part of next week. So what do you guys think of these prints? This one was printed with the white PLA from Spool 3D, just so you guys know. And same with the moon. It was printed with the white from Spool 3D as well. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, almost a silky feel to it when you're looking at it. So let's go back to my camera. There we go. Let's have a quick peek over here. Yes, machine mods and custom builds. I am going to get into that, Joshua. I know you're coming into the store later today, so I'm going to stick around till you get here. We were going to do a build today or a rebuild of my old hick top. And we are going to get into that in upcoming episodes. It'll probably start in February. We're going to take the hick top and we're going to rebuild it. The original frame for the hick top 3D printer is gone. It's destroyed. So it doesn't exist anymore, but I will show you what I've done with it and how I've made it work for me. Hey, there's Jerry Knapp. Good afternoon, sir. So let's talk a little bit about what is coming up. As you guys know, next week we're going to paint Pennywise, and we're going to show you. We're going to actually paint Pennywise all with a brush, other than priming him. We're going to prime him with some spray primer, but we are going to completely paint him with a brush. And the reason I want to do that next week is because a lot of people struggle with painting, and they think that they're going to get amazing results from having an airbrush. And the truth of the matter is, if you don't own an airbrush and you've never used an airbrush, there is quite a learning curve to using an airbrush. Hey, Aaron Powell from the UK, he's here today. Great to see you. Our good friend Don, the German printing nerd's here. I am going to use watercolors on him. So they are going to be acrylic paints that we use to paint Pennywise. I'm also going to use a little bit of pastels and actual pastel chalks. I'm going to use those to do some of the work around the eye to give Pennywise that little bit of grayness around his eyes. We might use some of it as well to bring out some of the detail. But other than that, this is a beautiful model. It's really hard to see in this light, but it is a gorgeous model. And if you're interested in this model, again, you can go over to Inno3D, and they will definitely be able to hook you up. This was printed in PLA. Aaron is asking if it was PLA or ABS. This is PLA. I do most of my prints in PLA quite simply because it's easier to use, and I can bang things off pretty quick. So Pennywise, and this was also printed in PLA. Now, will this warp over time in the heat? Maybe. I'm thinking when I go to do this one, because it is quite smooth already, I don't think I'm going to have to do a lot of sanding work, so I may just go ahead and use some of, what is that stuff called? XTC. I think I might use some XTC on this mask prior to doing the paint work, but you guys are going to get a chance to see that. And the paints that we're going to use next week are from, now this is the dark gray blue. I'll put it on the other camera here. This is the dark gray blue from Vallejo, or Vallejo, however that's pronounced. This is Vallejo paint. Now this is their airbrush line. It doesn't matter. You can use any type of acrylic paint. I may also be getting into using some of these basics as well. This is just latex paint or acrylic latex paint from Liquitex. You can find this in any art store, in any Michaels, anything like that. Model paints do work well as I don't like using enamel paints on this stuff. I prefer not to use enamels because enamels have a chemical in them that can bite into the softer plastic. So the acrylic paints I find are just as easy to use. And you don't have to go out and buy expensive Liquitex like I've done. You can go and buy any kind of hobby or craft paint from Walmart or from Michaels or any discount store. I know a lot of the dollar stores, they also have paints. We're going to talk a little bit about brushes next week and what brushes I recommend that you have. Will a printed PLA model become brittle? Over time, let's see.
I don't think so.
Not if it's been sealed. If it's been sealed, I don't think so. I think you're going to have a long-lasting model. The real key is to keep them out of direct sunlight or direct heat, because we all know that PLA is a very low temperature product. Once you seal it though, it adds some protection to it. So I think you should be fine with that. Oh, he pressed it. Sun does a real number on PLA. Andrew Lawrence is saying, yes, it does do a real number on PLA. It's a pain in the backside is what it is. That being said, yeah, we're going to show you how to finish this up. So you guys can take your prints from just raw plastic to something that looks amazing, and you'd be proud to have it on your shelf. So we're going to do that. I have to paint Pickle Rick for my wife, even though Pickle Rick is in green.
Just like that, I know.
Pickle Rick like this. I mean, I could key this out right now and I could put anything in my hand, which, you know, I'm probably not going to do.
Not my table.
Yeah, I could, the green on this is great for chroma keying. And we can do chroma keying, but we don't bother.
Right?
Yeah, it'd be a great, it's a great chroma key green. So,
Raymond has a question.
Raymond has a question. Where's Raymond's question? How do you thin the paint for airbrushing? That's a good question. Raymond, how I do it is I mix my own. I have my own airbrush thinner that I've mixed myself, and really all it is distilled water, which you can find anywhere, and you can get it in like 4-liter jugs and have it forever. I start with distilled water, then I add, where is that stuff? I don't even know if I've got it out. I don't think I have it. Oh, yes, I do. I have some right here. Then I add a little bit of retardant.
Yeah, I'm getting comments on all the platforms here, but I'm not getting video.
Okay.
Okay, you might be.
It might be back now. I think it's just taking a bit for everything to. Yeah. Oops, who pressed the wrong key?
Nobody did. It just started lagging.
Yeah, it just started lagging. We've had some issues lately with the internet here, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, the stream itself is lagging.
Okay, Fred says everything's back. Live feed interrupted, John Kruger said. So going back to what I was saying, yes, I use golden retarder, and I just use some distilled water, and that's how I make my airbrush thinner. Once in a while, I might put in a couple of drops of isopropyl alcohol, depending on what I'm doing. Fred says, pay your bill. I just paid all the bills this morning. Back to where you got the bottle. Okay, this bottle I just picked up at the art store. You can find these at Michael's or any decent art store. The golden you can find at any decent art store, Michael's as well.
That stuff works really well, by the way.
The Basics Liquitex acrylic paints you can find at any art store. But again, you don't have to use these. You can use a completely different craft paint if you want. The electronics win again. Yes, they do. Okay, everybody's back and everybody's doing okay. So yeah, just a little, you can buy commercial airbrush thinner if you want for acrylics. So it's really, once you learn how to make your own, you will never go and buy another commercial airbrush thinner again. Ever. It's 90-to-1 is the ratio of this, of water to retarder. It's 90 parts, or pardon me, 90 parts water, 10 parts retarder. So, oh, I may have forgot to pay the streaming export taxes. That could be. That could be. Another type of paint that I may end up using, and I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do this. I have quite a bit of this stuff. It's the All-Clads. I've painted with All-Clads before, and I have some good All-Clad metals here at the shop that I can run through my airbrush. Now, this stuff is a little different than this stuff. This is an enamel, and this stuff stinks a lot. This particular primer has microfillers in it, so it's got things that help to fill in some of the inconsistencies in your print. But I'll get into talking about that again at another time. So let's get into some Q&A. What do you guys use for your painting, if you're painting your models? And if not, what would you like me to cover on painting for your models? What about Plastidip, Aaron's asking. Plastic dip, or Plastidip as we call it here in Canada. Plastidip is fine if you want to rubber seal your pieces. I don't think it's a good primer for PLA, to be perfectly honest with you. If you're doing cosplay items and you're doing armor and you're mixing foam armor builds with 3D printed parts, then by all means, use that to seal your foam. But Plastidip, I've got no real reason to use Plastidip on any kind of cosplay piece unless I'm using foam. Oh, you're talking about for protection. Plasti dip for protection can work, but again, depending on the color of Plasti dip you use, will determine just how much. I've never used it on 3D prints. If I was going to use it, I would test it first, just to be sure that it's not eating into the plastic or that it's actually adhering to the plastic, the PLA. So Don, our German printing nerd, says he's got a full airbrush kit but no paint. Don, the paint that you can find, you're out in Germany, so I'm not sure what the names of your dollar stores are out there. It could be the 1, 2, 3 store, I don't know. And that's a dollar store here. That's about all the German I know. So I can count to 3, 1, 2, 3.
Maybe the Einschmark show. Einschmark store.
The Einschmark store. There you go. It could be totally wrong.
He's going to quit the group now.
Frank says he's going to quit the group. I don't think he's going to. He likes our jokes. But yeah, whatever art store or dollar store that you have out in Germany or in the UK, go check there for your acrylic paints. They're cheap to buy. Looking at other only hobby stores. You guys don't have an equivalent out there. Being colorblind, I'd like to paint to give a statue effect with weathering. Okay, we can do that. What we're going to do with this mask, when we paint it, we are going to weather it. So I'm going to show you guys some really, really easy weathering techniques that I used to use on scale model kits and some of the stuff that I used to do for Games Workshop when I worked for them years ago. But I think that when I get into this mask, you guys are going to see a lot of weathering techniques. When I get into doing this guy next week, you're going to see some techniques that are really easy to do using pastel, chalks, and acrylic paint. So we're going to do some washes as well on this. So let me just quickly, how do I thin my paints? Ray is asking, or maybe I covered that already. Yeah, Ray, I did cover that. Yeah. So yeah, using an airbrush thinner.
Except for how to paint when you're colorblind.
How do you paint when you're colorblind? Well, that's a good question.
Let me know when you find out.
Fred, do you want me to do some research into that for you? I can.
That's a good idea.
I think what you basically have to do is just go into the store and look at the colors on the label and go from there. Wow, can't wait to see the next streams, he says.
We'll do them all in grayscale.
Yeah, we'll do them all in grayscale. How's that? My painting would make all models look like Pennywise or Coco the Clown. With a little bit of practice, you know, I have a friend who is a photographer, a professional photographer, and he's colorblind. And he shoots in color, and he prints in color, and it's just amazing the things that he comes up with. So it would be very interesting. We're gonna, you know, we should get into a chat after the show, Fred, and talk a little bit about that problem you're having. Jerry wants to know, water-based acrylic paint is sold worldwide. Kids use it in all schools. Some quality is better than others, and that's very true, Jerry. You're absolutely right about that. They do differ in quality from paint manufacturer to paint manufacturer. I like to use acrylics more than I like to use enamels. Back in the day when we were building model kits from Revell or AMC or any of those guys, most of the paints that we used were enamels, and they stunk to high heaven, and they were tough to clean because you needed to clean them in an acetone or something like that. Fred says, I see orange grass. Oh, okay, so green to orange. Okay, so you're missing color, some of the color spectrum.
He just shifted to the left a little.
Yeah, just shift it to the left. So I want to talk quickly about the Patreon that I set up this week. To everybody that is here and maybe watching in the Restream, I've done 3 levels of I guess sponsorship is what it is, for lack of a better term. There's a $1 level. It's basically you're part of the group. You're in the fan club. There's a $5 donation, or not donation, but sponsorship. $5 sponsorship that will allow you to get some behind the scenes content that won't be available to everybody. And at the $10 level, which I just added this morning, you are going to get entered into monthly draws that I do. And the first monthly draw I am going to do is for some Mark 8 nozzles, a complete collection of Mark 8 nozzles from our friends over at Mech Solutions, and a roll of Mech Solutions PLA. So that's going to be our first month. I'm going to give that away probably at the end of February. So anybody that is in that $10 range, you're also going to have access to all of the private or Patreon only videos, and you'll get your name entered into that draw as well. Now, speaking of draws, as I said, we're 24 people away from hitting our 250 mark, and as soon as we hit that 250 mark, I'm giving away some stuff. And we are going to give away a $50 gift certificate. There we go. A $50 gift certificate to Spool 3D that you can spend on Spool 3D's website any way you like. And then we're also going to give you a Rey bobblehead from Star Wars The Force Awakens and a beautiful print from Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams reboot. We have to thank our sponsor, Spool 3D, because they give us this lovely studio space to use each and every week for us to bring you this show, both live and the recorded version. Spool3D.ca has everything from printers to filaments to parts of all sorts, and they do a really good job at getting your stuff out, and great customer service from them as well. So go check out Spool3D.ca. The problem is, Aaron, I have not been drinking today. I should start drinking today. I'm just quickly checking out some of the things. Okay, if you guys, I know some people have asked me where they can send stuff, if they want to send stuff in. We have an address. It is right here below me. The address is the first layer, of course, 230 11929 40th Street Southeast, Calgary, Alberta, and the T2Z 4M8 is the postal code. So if you want to send something in for me to show on the show or for Mail Mondays, by all means you can go ahead and do that. We are out of first layer stickers right now, but I am going to be getting some more stickers by the end of the month. I just have to get in touch with my guys and get some new stickers done. And the stickers have changed a little bit. They are now just black and white. They are not black, white, and gray. I really like the design of the black and white better. It's easier to see, it's easier to print, it's easier to put on shirts and hats and that kind of thing. So eventually we're going to get into merch as well, because people have asked me about that. You guys seem to want hats and t-shirts for the most part. So we're going to come up with some really innovative designs, and I'm going to find somebody who can handle the merch part of it for us. And all of this is just so that we can keep this show running and bring it to you guys every week. So the the actual address is in the description underneath the video. It's near the bottom, Don. So if you're wanting to take part in that, it is down in the bottom description on YouTube for this video today. Actually, it's on usually on every video. Usually not on the live streams, but I've been getting more diligent in filling out the descriptions prior to actually doing the live stream. So the descriptions are full. So that is there. Did you sort out the STL file for the cartoon you showed last week? Fred's asking. No, I have not. The cartoon file of me in a Family Guy sort of way. Boy, it almost sounds like I'm pregnant.
I'm working on it. It's working. I'm just not saying anything because it's not done yet, but I've been working on it.
Frank says he's working on one for me. So when we get that done, we are going to print off a version of me as a Family Guy, and I will be doing, I will be giving those away at some point in time as well, because it's fun, right? It's fun. We're going to be doing some coasters coming up. We're going to be giving some of those away as well. We've got, when we hit 500 subscribers, we got a brand new contest. I call it the Game of Thrones contest. We're going to be giving you a Game of Thrones print that I've done here. Not that I've designed. It's one of the prints that you can find online at Thingiverse, but I'm going to print it out for you. Fred says he sent an email with an STL file. So,
What?
yeah, what was that for? Maybe he did one of me. Who knows? Oh, yes, you did. That was the flat one, right? Yes.
Oh, flat ones are easy. We're trying to do it.
Yeah, I saw the flat one. I do have that. I haven't printed it off yet. I'm going to get to printing those in the upcoming weeks, and then I'll show it because there's 2 of them that came in. So yes, I will get those out to you. That's a soundboard for an Arduino. He's looking at stuff on my desk.
Stop talking to me and talk to them.
Boy, now he's directing me.
Yeah. Director.
Cut.
Whatever hat I have to wear.
Whatever hat you have to wear. Okay, so with that being said, I want to quickly touch on another way you guys can support the show without spending any money up front. If you go to my computer screen real quick, touch on another way you guys can support the show without spending any money up front. What it is, it's like a web browser. If you go to my computer screen, that you can download, and once you download Brave, another way you buy tokens and you set a monthly budget the show without set a specific amount spending any money. What it is, it's like a web browser. If you go to my computer screen, channels you can download, and once you download Brave, and another way you buy tokens and you set a monthly budget, you don't get any of the pop-ups, you don't get any of the spending any money. What it is, the malware. Apparently Brave blocks all that stuff for you. Once you download Brave, and the other way you buy tokens and set a monthly budget, you don't get any of the pop-ups, you don't get any of the spending. What it is, the malware. Apparently Brave blocks all that stuff for you. Once you download Brave, and the other way you buy tokens and set a monthly budget, you don't get any of the pop-ups, you don't get any of the spending. What it is, the malware. Apparently Brave blocks all that stuff for you. Once you download Brave, and the other way, one thing to kind of go and check out for you guys, if it's another option for you. Stereo. Oh, I guess what's happening is I'm coming in on stereo when this goes, when I'm on my screen. Okay, I get it. I get what's happening there. Dual audio. We're going to have to work that out.
Yes.
Okay. So that's just one other way that you guys can support the channel if you like. Again, like I said at the top of the show, if you can't, that's fine too. I mean, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to help the community in 3D printing. And I'm doing this because I enjoy your guys' company 3 times a week. You guys are amazing. And the more people that come on to Facebook and come on to YouTube, the better our community becomes, because I'm seeing that you guys are answering questions and you guys are helping new people and you're welcoming the new people as well. And I think that's absolutely awesome to take part in. And the website is going to grow as well. We're going to start, I'm going to get some more time into working on that this week. So everything that we've talked about in the last little while will be up there. Yeah, something strange with the sound. I agree. So finally, again, if you haven't hit that subscribe sign, go ahead and hit it. Smash the like button and hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we do a brand new episode. And the weekend's here, so I'm going to head on out. I'm going to grab my camera gear. I'm going to head on out, and I am going to go spend some time with my wife this weekend. Maybe do some photography. Maybe I'll put some of that up on my my personal Instagram account. You guys can see some of that. And you guys have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me today.